Okay.
What up, friends? This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, doing a little live market recap for Tuesday, August 16th. Letting people fill in. Come on in. Water is warm. Mic check. Let me know what you guys hear and see. I appreciate it. We're going to give it a few minutes just to get people in here so that they got their questions. They're ready to go. Market's moving fast. A lot of people got questions. Just feel like it's just worth talking about real quick. Wonder if anyone saw that alert for Apple 173 gift. Thank you, Drew. Appreciated. Let's give it another minute or so. If you got any questions, type them out. Gladly answering. That's the point of the whole Discord room, is to have multiple pairs of eyes watching multiple things and all people who know what the hell's going on. YOLO BOLO. Used to wear bolos out and about every once in a while just to get weird looks from people. Used to be fun. You're not an Indian. Nope, I'm not. Good morning, everyone. Of course, dip buyers show up. They're conditioned to buy. At the highs, they buy. At the lows, they're shorting endlessly. That is what the market does. 4 eggs, pesto, onions, and sauteed garlic. All right. Let's see if we got our charts open. Perfect. Let's get into it. When is the Q the right time to short? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Somewhere near the highs. We're not getting to the 200 day. I've said that 1,000 times. I just don't think we're getting there. I've said this a million times in previous recaps. Once you broke the 20-month, that confirmed to you the bear market was there. But what do we know about bear markets, right? They're not straight line moves. Hence why we talked about buying near the lows, which we did, and we rode that up, and how we positioned ourselves to start shorting. And if you got stopped out like I did, near the highs, whatever, it happens. Doesn't mean I just give up on the trade and go, well, must be going to 400. No, that's not kind of the thinking here. Again, what creates bear markets? Inflation. Fed's not soft landing. They can't navigate it. Shortages. Global turmoil. I mean, the list is long. It just seems to be in the back of people's minds. And it usually is, right? Right before what? The market flips. Just like we said in June, CPI was going to be flat to down, so the market probably would get a bounce because the seasonality of July earnings is up for the most part every year. And what happened? The market popped. It wasn't rocket science, right? Yeah, wise man says trash floats last. It does, absolutely. So now where we're at, it's like if you are not taking shorts in here, that's fine. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. But I mean, I can't get enough of this stuff up here. I mean, the highest I see it goes maybe 335. But we're already losing velocity. What have we said? Bond market, dollar, right? China stuff is starting to flare up. The Fed's minutes are coming out on Wednesday. They're going to say we are not pivoting. Keep in mind, they can't pivot with low unemployment and high inflation. That just makes zero sense. And again, they might try to somehow say, we're going to watch it, we're going to be careful. HYG, thank you, divergence. There's a million things here. But people are just focused on one stock, one time frame. They're not really seeing the big picture. Again, natural gas breaking out. We talked about as an issue. It's going to be a huge issue in Europe. I mean, this is the thing, I say this all the time about the markets. Highs and lows. Think about the Qs down here. We talked about this like being a barge, big boat that turns. You break, you hold the bottom trend line, you bounce back, then you come back, and then it goes straight line move, right? Well, at this point, to me, the shorting is to what? Get the best core position that I can, and then leverage around it, so that when it does counter rally, I can take profits and then add back. But my core position is in at the two, for example, 330s. That's what I want. I don't want to sit here and give up my position. Where? At the highs. Now, again, you can trade around a core position. We talk about this. Say you want 1,000 shares short QQQ and your core is 500, and you know it's going what? Lower? Well, then, of course, trade around that position, but also know that at any point you might not be able to what? Predict with 100% certainty that the market's going to go down or pop at any certain point. Does that make sense? Once the trend is your friend, now you're playing with house money. We're in the inflection points. What do we talk about? Options expiration and first and last 3 days of the month are typically what? When the markets turn. Well, at this point, what do you think is going on? They're probably trying to wipe out all of the options. And again, they'd love to see these idiots buy the calls the first couple days of the week. That's what I talk about. Like the market typically is what? Down or up at the start, and then the opposite later in the week. Well, keep in mind, like, look at all the biggest trades going on are options being bought, calls being bought. Do you think the market maker at some point is going to try to do something to wipe those guys out? Now, if gamma squeezes and, they try to get the ES shorts going higher, great. But keep in mind, the NQs aren't short heavily. It's just, I mean, there's so many factors going on. This is what the news is trying to put a narrative on every moment. What if the real truth is that the market's turning? It's going to take as long as it needs. And if you want to be impatient, well, guess what? The big money's in the big moves. It's just not how it is. Think about this from the Livermore perspective. What would he be doing? Layering in. Layering out. But most people just got to go all or nothing gambling style. Yeah, HYG. We talked about this. Corporate debt leads the bond market, which leads this and leads. Look at the HYG's already blown out. Outside, reversal, close at lows, chopping around. Talked about the TLT turning over. Right? Broke out of its channel. Talked about getting the 120s. A lot of us bought it down in here. I mean, that was honestly the easiest day ever because you had a retest and you close at the highs. Clearly bullish, right? Outside reversal candle. Sometimes you love it when it's that easy on the retest. And then we talked about up here, you got to take profits and then got stopped out. It's really not that hard. So then someone's asking about natural gas. And I said this in the most recent videos. It's either going to double top or this is like a cup and handle about to break out. And we gapped over the downtrend. Good luck, Europe, pricing out this and that and having a nice winter. Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm really watching too because I know Apple. It's going to probably top last, right? Like, think about what... And so here are some of the signs this morning. A, the trash is going nuts, right? Shit stocks. Everybody's piling into them, right? What could go wrong there? If you're one of those people and you're just like buy and hold those things, for the love of God, please don't. Please don't. Don't be that person who bought the high on Bed Bath & Beyond today, right? Like, don't be that person. I mean, I don't even look at the meme stocks because to me they're not real. Like they're just like extreme trading avenues that move way too volatile that I can't hold overnight. I can't be patient with. So I just don't really care about them. And then once they don't trade technically either, they just go wild. So now what with Tesla? What do we say this morning? Like, watch for the retest. Look what happened. Popped and flopped. Now, if Tesla isn't one of the market movers, keep in mind, like, what did it say? Kramer said this last night. Buy Apple, buy Tesla. It ripped at the open and immediately flopped. Who had the stopping power and selling power to do that? Well, we also know what, right? Like that there's like a culvert of people that are just anti-Kramer. So I'm not surprised it dropped and it ripped. Now it's ripping back in their face. Talked about this level mattering, right? You can zoom out on the 60. What does that look? Does that not look like an outside reversal right there? Like hammer? Just, I guess it didn't close below the previous candle, but does that look bearish to you? Big volume, outside move, turn around near the lows and then follow through down, and now look, it's popping on lighter volume. Oh, but it happened this and it happened. I don't give a shit about what happens every minute of the 6.5 hours the market's open. I really can't predict that, y'all. And you're lying to yourself if you can too. So if you want to trade and plan on, like, say, this is how I used to scalp. Like, I'm just looking for 10 points. I get my 10 points. Oh, I went down 30. Well, you know, you predict what you predict. And if you take 10 and you're happy and it drops 30, well, then what should you have been doing? Swing trading. Because this kind of shit happens. So let's roll into some of the stuff. Apple. Everybody's bullish Apple. At the highs. Oh, that's not Apple. That's Meta. Metaverse. We're up against the channel highs. It's a bull market. Accelerating that buyback before Grandpa Joe's new anti-inflation, hyperinflation bill potentially comes out today. Or it is signed, so it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Look at the dying volume. You can see it down on the bottom right. Just yank it higher. But think about what happens with the markets at the lows. Everyone's going short, right? I mean, I follow a lot of people on FinTwit, StockTwit, just to see what they say, because they're usually always wrong. Like, they're the biggest cheerleaders of what's the opposite of what's really going to happen. Now, they're right when the trend is their friend, but they get real aggressive to friends saying, "Hold, don't sell now. It's going higher always." And then you can see at these inflection points what happens. There's instant remorse in the back of your head, right? And then you have to tell yourself you're going to be right. Like, think about, that's what most people do. That's literally how they just hold. No one buys down here except for, you know, us talking about it. Talked about covering the short that we had. I had some shorts from post earnings in the 170. Started taking profits, and then it popped back, and then it was like, I'm done. We talked about this. If you're not familiar, check it out. And now what? Now I'm shorting up here and I'm an idiot? I don't know. Now I don't know anything for certain. You know, know your max loss. Know what you're willing to lose. Could we do some sort of best Bed Bath & Beyond spike in Apple? Probably not. Hence why I don't trade those names, because if I pick a spot that makes sense technically, I want it to be reliable, not just some who knows what is going to happen kind of thing. So at this point, now what? Just let it. Again, I mean, I've got a million people today going, "Hey, I know you talked about the higher prices. I took my dollar on the market and I'm out. 100% cash." I'm sitting here going, well, that's all or nothing trading. Your emotions got the best of you, and now you're completely gambling that you think, you know for sure, 100%, that the market has to go higher. Now, if it pops back, naturally you look like a genius. And I'm just talking about the mental warfare you have to go through. How I have to catch myself. Like, yeah, hey, I want to be the genius. I made that dollar shorting. Woohoo. Well, then what happens if it professionally gaps down tomorrow? And you're just sitting there going, well, I'm going to wait till Wednesday. I'm going to wait till next week. Well, what if that means shorting at a much lower price, right? Here's OPEX bottom in June. Here's OPEX highs in August. Do you want to pretend that you know for certain anything? I've been trading 20 years, and I still tell people, like, it's all probabilities. Anytime I start going, well, that's going to happen for sure, I'm still right 50% of the time, wrong 50%. You know what I mean? Like, it's still based on what the probability. So what is the evidence, right? That's what you need to ask yourself. Because this is my biggest worry is, like, a lot of y'all, I don't know if you're trading gold, but I've traded gold forever, right? Warn people, like, you're up into your point of control, right? Inflection point. You hit it, you close at the high. Professional gap down yesterday, and I warned bulls, like, oh, you guys potentially are house of pain. You know, the whole, like, Kramer buttons he's got. Buy. House of pain. Well, look at that. Professional gap down. So it closed at 167. Yesterday closed at 165. And now it's dripping. So pretend now this is you, me, whoever. All right, I'm waiting for that retest. Great. I'm going to short till tomorrow. Now what? Now you're putting yourself in a real pickle. The professional gap should go, and the odds are say it should. But now your cost basis, if you get a retest later, which, like gold, like look if it comes back up here and it retests. I mean, stuff retests all the time. I want to at least know, like, my spots are good. My options are good. I'm in the money. I have all these things lined up so that if something does retest, I'm not going, well, I'm screwed. Or I have to limit myself to, it has to be right next week, Dan. If I'm not right by the end of next week. I mean, what in your brain tells you should buy more options in less time versus less options and way more time? And when I say way more time, not like next year, but October, like September, like not next week. So I hope this stuff helps. If you got any questions, I mean, I could get into more of the charts, but what are the questions? I mean, what are people seeing? Because again, a lot of this is psychological. It's all psychological. You're sitting here trying to calculate odds to create certainty, which the reality is that we're just trying to do what the market's doing. Microsoft, again, if you're popping back, gift from the gods, 200-day point of inflection. I tell people this all the time. Oh, it's back over the 20-week. Got it. If you don't think this has got the backside of Mount St. Helens, I don't know what it is. I mean, the Grand Tetons, whatever you want to call it, your favorite mountain range. Oh, but it's going higher. Okay. You know, I can't really tell you what to do, but I know how it all ends. Oh, but I love this because I love this narrative about Tesla. Nobody wanted it. It was too expensive, too overvalued, too expensive. You know, they were living off of credits. This market, this stock was crap. Backside of the mountain, now everyone's a bull. Now the narrative is bullish. Have the market makers infiltrated the mindset of people just to literally, name a person that you know that owns Tesla who says, I am not trading it. I am holding it for the long term. Can you think of a single Tesla bull that doesn't say that? And when I say like single, like think of the average person who's just like, I own Tesla. High five. You're in the Tesla club. Cool. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at the VIX. What have we said? You literally couldn't get options any cheaper. Here's the monthly compressing before the big move here in 2007, 2008. Compressing. Higher highs, higher lows. Now, higher highs, not technically, but just, you know what I mean? Like, spiking back up into the 30s. This isn't like some just calm market. Well, here you are at the range. Potential lows. Could it go to 18? I don't know. I don't really have a crystal ball. But you don't want to buy in the money options out in October when the VIX is in the 20s, 19s. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not saying you can't lose, but you're getting the best prices, right? Like, that's like buying real estate right now. I tell people, like, if you can buy real estate at significant discounts, can't say it can't go lower, but if you're getting a good deal, it's a good deal. And if you believe in certainty, that's where your brain is fucking you. Like, most people who start losing need to do what? Their coping mechanism is to believe that they can win. Like, they have to, like, this monumental goal. Like, I've lost X amount of dollar. I've got to be right now every time going forward. Well, instead of, like, being a better trader, now they just really believe in more certainty, which is really dangerous. Like, I'm going to do this and it's going to be right. And it's like, no, you really just doubled down on what got you fucked. Like, you got to be probability based. Apple going a little higher. All right, cool. I mean, do I know the top? I mean, if anyone's sitting here like, that's the top, this is the top. No, you just use the signals. We talked about this could be a top here. We talked about this could be a top here. We said probabilities. Hence why we got in. If you did and didn't and you got stopped out, that's just how it goes. Now you look at previous tops, right? This is what I worry about. If something happens, wham, slam, and then retest. Well, if you had your core position, you can see this here, and you took and you traded around it, you were loving life on the retest. Say here, you shorted and you got back to the retest, loving life. If you traded around it a little bit. Here you go. It just took time to chop out. Chop out. Again, here's the top during the first and last 3 days of the month. Here was the drop. Here was the OPEX first peak. I remember that very clearly. Then the retest, first of the month. That happens, y'all. That's where it's like, is this clear as day that your trading career will be defined by how you manage risk, not your wins and your losses, because your wins and losses will be dependent upon how you manage risk. I mean, I've said this over and over again. I know people who are absolutely the worst traders in the world, but when they're wrong, they're gone quick. They take their losses. They know they define their risk. I know people like me in the past, and people who are great traders, cowboy traders, just got to be right. Shoot to kill. Can't be wrong because I'm never wrong. And then one loss. Fucked. You see the difference in psychology there. Hopefully that's clear as day. And I don't know what the average person... Well, actually, I've been through everything you've gone through, but I know what the average person is doing right now. They're going, well, I shorted. Oh, I think it's going higher. I took all my profits. Well, because Dan said it was probability of 1 in 3 chances it goes higher. Because the probability is what? A failure quickly. The other one is a chop top, and which would put you in basically a chop top, right? So there's 66% chance that it's flat from here and heading lower, or the 1 out of 3 it goes higher. And so they're like, I had to take all my profits. I'm good. All right. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. If you're looking for certainty, crystal ball, magic 8 ball, tarot cards, I don't know. But I mean, sacrifice, whatever. I mean, do you see what I'm saying here? Like, this isn't that, like, your brain wants certainty. Our brains want certainty. And now I'm like, sounds like just like Richard Howe. You want to lock in to know you're right. Well, guess what? That works in a state of survival, right? That works for your brain when you live as a caveman. Well, now it's not all about survival. It's about probabilities. You live in a nice house. You got a nice car. You got a great wife. This isn't life or death, these decisions. They're absolutely simple. But if you don't think they are, I get it. Anyone got any questions? Because I feel like I could just ramble on this shit. And it's like, where do you get in, Dan? Where's the best opportunity for Apple? Right here. Where's the best opportunity to short the Qs? Layer in these positions. Oh, it's going 200. Okay. All right, whatever you say. SPY's 430, Dan, making higher highs. Is it going to break out? I don't know. Keep in mind, we talked about the SPY being one of the confirmation signals, like breaking below the channel and then dojing. Does it need a break above it and doji? But notice again, too, the QQQs are lacking the SPY, right? FDV. Let me guess, it's a penny stock. Jesus fucking Christ. Hopefully I'm wrong. And I'm like, I'll apologize immediately. Nope, it's a fucking penny stock. What the fuck? Another bot. Do you realize trading penny stocks is like believing in what? You're going to get rich on lottery tickets. Now, I know it happens, right? Like, you hear the story, or you win a couple $1,000s, but I'm just telling you right now, like, if that's your game plan is to play pump and dumps, look at this, we called that one double bottom. Okay, so why do you play penny stocks? Because you have a smaller account, and so you think it's smart to gamble and speculate on pump and dumps? I mean, watch Wolf of Wall Street. It's real. Those companies are total shit. 95% insider owned? Great. Then why is it a fucking less than $1? What is the company doing? I mean, again, institutions can't buy it. Big money is not going to buy it. Yeah, it's boiler room stocks. Seriously. I hope it works for you, Todd. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, let it go. Cool. If it works, great. But how many stocks from penny stock land make it to the S&P 500? 0. How many of those are big time, big winners? 0. Now there's one off. Yeah, 1 out of 1,000, 1 out of 100. But you only have so much emotional capital. People who play penny stocks live and die by penny stocks. They get burned. As Livermore would say, would you want to bet and speculate on the easy winners, or do you want to what? gamble and speculate on low odds. I'd rather speculate on not guaranteed, better probabilities, larger, than stocks like that and know that I can lose my ass. Because again, it's always about what you can lose. I mean, you buy FN, whatever. What was that thing? FD. Yeah, they lost their delisting. They obviously had to become a multiple name. I mean, do you see the point here? Like, do you think there's 1,000 stocks that look like this? Thousands that have just peaked and dead. Do you want to own this? Is this how you get rich? It's picking penny stocks. Now, again, it might work. I mean, I'm just saying in general, but is this the game? Oh, but I don't know how else to make money. Well, good luck. I mean, that's like the poor people do the same thing. Well, I can't make money. I'm just going to invest in the lottery. Yeah, I mean, it's got volume. Cool. I just know how 90% of these names get. As soon as they become popular, it's a dump. Immediate dump. Nobody wanted it, down in the... Whatever. No one wanted it down here. Does a pop. But you have to remember, so this is the problem with the psychology of stocks that have gotten burned. And you maybe know this, maybe you don't. Everybody who bought at any point in the future on any pop now is a seller. It's trying to get their money back. They're just trying and praying to get their money back. That's just how it works. Now, if you want to say that for some reason, you know what? I'm going to make a living in penny stocks. Good luck. I mean, you bring this out here and somebody buys it at 90 cents, and then what happens? It falls back to 30. Like, I mean, you might as well buy options. You might as well buy targeted smart options all day versus buy penny stocks. But again, people won't learn how to trade how real, normal, follow the market stocks work so that they can trade options well. Because I know people literally start to go, Dan, I don't have the money. I'm just going to trade one option well. I'm going to trade one option well. That's all they do. And they get way better returns than penny stocks. Can guarantee that. I'm still holding short position down 7%, waiting for the market to turn down. Okay, I mean, with 7, is 10% your stop loss? I mean, I don't know what your risk profile was going into the trade. I mean, I put out that trading sheet on the Discord room. It talks about, what is your max loss? What are you willing to lose? Because that's how you have to think about it. Like, we're sitting here playing blackjack. We're all sitting around at a table, all having a drink, got some got some chips, and I mean, the most I'm willing to lose is X. What are you willing to lose? Yeah, I mean, I'd rather buy, it's crazy. Buy one Apple put at the right price. Trade one put well. When I put myself in purgatory, after restarting, I said to myself, I'm going to trade one option well. And if I can trade one option well, then I can trade two options well. And if I can trade two options well, I know I can trade three options well. And I earned in confidence to how to trade back because I had it burned because of losses. I mean, we've all been there. But if you can't do that and you got to trade penny stocks, I wish you luck. Like I said, I know it's up on volume and there's probably great news. But again, I remember dealing with certain previous stocks and talking to people and like, do you realize the institutions that are writing this news? There's no accountability. They're just going to say, we talked to the management and they said this. Well, then you find out it was some Chinese name and what happened? Oh, instantaneously, it instantly collapsed because they're like, oh, that wasn't even a real person. I mean, they might as well interviewed a bum on the street. Ask him, what do you think? I mean, that's how you want to, like, that's the kind of information you're backing your trades on, potentially, if you're not careful. That's how I just tell people. I'm like, as soon as it becomes pumpy, and again, in this market, that's the thing about it. Like, that's what 2021 taught you, right? This is what it's going to ingrain in people. Buy trash, go long, get rich quick. .com bubble called, and they're saying, if you don't pay attention, you're going to get axed. Oh, 2008 and 9 called, all the fucking housing, banking, and anything related to commodities. I remember like Wildcat speculate natural gas companies that literally were penny stocks quadrupling. People were like, oh, but did you see the insiders are buying? Well, who's the insiders? Oh, but this gone. Instant, like overnight, wiped out. That's the kind of game you're playing with stocks and your money. I mean, it all ends the same if it's just a matter of time. Like, think about it. The house always wins. You play the game, incredibly risky, you lose. Are you talking about crypto? I mean, you tell me. Shit, crypto always goes to zero. I mean, none of y'all, I mean, I think I might be the oldest person here, and it's funny is I'm not that old. I just started trading in the .com bubble, and I saw the same fucking mentality. Y'all don't realize I made a ton of money being gambling and speculating. And then I thought I was smart, and I lost 90% of it. I got right back to where I started, and I was like, oh. Well, that was my first lesson in humility. I was just lucky. The conditions provided irrationality that I thought was sustainable. The market isn't like this for always, folks. People buying the Bed Bath & Beyonds. How do you know you're at the bear market bottom? I can tell you this right now. When nobody wants stocks. Nobody wants stocks. That's how you know it. 2008, 2010, I don't want stocks. Oh, dude, you couldn't. Nobody was buying stocks. 2003, oh, no. I'm done with stocks. I'm done with stocks. Oh, but right now, 2022, the bear market's over? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? The bear market's over. This kind of shit's happening. Then you don't know your history. You do not know your history. The market is like a game that fattens everybody up for slaughter, pulls the rug, beats the shit out of them, takes all your money like a bully at the end. But before that, they're like, hey, let's hang out. Let's have a drink. You're cool. Yeah, whatever. Whatever you want. You want a beer? I'll buy it. Cool. You want this? Cool. Get real comfortable. If you do not know that and you're in your 20s and 30s, every generation, it's like almost every bear market does this. It resets everything. Think about tech and like I talk about this all the time. Like pull up Microsoft. Those who don't know, don't know. But there literally was a extended decade of nothingness in Microsoft. Nothing. Once it peaked in 2000, look how many years. Took you 16 years to get back to even. 16 years. Is your Tesla going to get back in 16 years? I don't know. Is your whatever favorite stock? I don't know. But look at this. Nothing for years. Microsoft's the anomaly. I guarantee I could pull up names. I can't find the names because they're gone. Tons of old leaders. If you don't know what old leaders were, Google them. Nortel, the Lucents, RIM, Research and Motion. I think they got bought out. Was it Palm Pilot? I mean, even Cisco, even NVIDIA, all the AMD, all these tech companies. They looked like hot shit. People don't realize we talk about ETFs releasing right near the highs. Look at the SMH. Gets up to 106. See you at 15. Does this make sense why anyone thinking the bear market bottom is in? I mean, you don't know your history. Because that's how you know. A bear market is done when nobody wants stocks. I am gassy. Yeah, because it just annoys the shit out of me. People don't know their history. It's like you're going into a casino game and you don't know the fucking rules. And you got lucky once, like me, and then what happens? You lost all your money. Cut down on the Fruity Loops? I don't know. That's just the problem here. Is I'm getting 100 of those questions today, and that usually tells me, too, what? Hey, Dan, what do you think about Bed Bath & Beyond? I know they sell lotion and soaps. Ooh. Did they get into crypto? Did they sell natural gas futures? Like, do they sell natural gas now? Are they building an EV? Like, who? That's my point. But people don't know that. And again, if this turns people off, well, great. I just hope you do realize. I hope you at some point figure out that you are not that smart, just like I figure out. I guess it's a meme stock. I guess that's. I mean, imagine if you talk to anyone in Ryan's constituency. I bet he's selling the pop. Just like all the. What do we see? All those 13 Fs. Sell, 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 sell. But no, you and I are supposed to be told we're supposed to buy. Any real questions? I mean, because this is the thing. I got to get going soon. So if you got a real question, let's do it. MOAS. I mean, Ryan Cohen. That's Steve Cohen's son, like from the Mets. That's my guess. You got rich off of. I can't remember. Chairman of GameStop. Like, do you guys not realize that this kind of action is what marks the tops? If you're not in your 40s, you remember the .com bubble. So what is this bubble going to be called? The meme stock bubble, right? Like, but people who are buying and holding meme stocks, do you really think that's the winner? Remember, it was the bank, housing, and commodities bubbles, the 2000s. Well, do you think holding through the bubble did really well? And I still got friends who bought Citigroup. Look at this piece of shit. Look at this piece of shit. Yeah. They're ever getting their money back? Nope. Zero. Not happening. Bank of America. I can't remember. Did they restructure? Well, they're getting close. They took on a lot of risk, but look at that. I mean, they held through it. 55, $2. Right? Who remembers Transocean? That was one of the big winners in the oil market. You going to get your money back? No. Now, again, so this is the point being, do you hold forever, hoping that you continue the rocket ride, or do you take your profits? I mean, these used to all be leaders. I mean, BTU, I think, restructured a million times. They're still around. But Peabody Energy, yeah, they went bankrupt. What were some of coal names? I mean, people just don't realize. This is not like, you're not. Belief in certainty is the certain way to get your ass kicked. Wells Fargo Monthly. I remember when Buffett was buying it, a bunch of that on the dip, and he was buying it down here. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin and ETH? I don't know the history of either of them. But I will tell you what, they look like a bubble to me. Which digital currency wins the game? Oh, if you throw a bunch of money at a few of them and you win, cool. But it's not like you're like my friend Chuck who was buying it in 2013 or 2014 for dollars. You're buying it now where? Near the highs, potentially. I mean, do you guys know what... damn, hold on. I don't even know how to explain this to a lot of people, but they're like, gold. So look at Bitcoin's monthly. Right? Here's Bitcoin. Whatever. Top of the mountain, backs off. Right? Look at gold. Gold had its... Oh, I'm typing on. Gold had its run, in the 70s and 80s, right? Do y'all know the history of this stuff? Where is it? There's the 80s. It took you 30 years to get back to even? Pretend you own silver. Pretend that's another one of these cryptos. Like silver was... I guess the SLV. Sorry, no, that's not it. Silver. When it had its ride, it's been shit since. Absolute shit since. Look at this. You don't know if you're going to go into purgatory. That's all I'm saying. Is silver and gold, at least they're an element. You actually need them. I don't know if you need Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin. I don't know if you need any of that shit in the future. Do you think crude oil will follow the NG move up? I mean, I've said this over and over and over again with anybody who's trading oil and gas. Geopolitical stuff is to your favor, right? We all agree. But if the market weakens, at some point, all of this stuff falls. Like, there's nothing safe. There's nothing safe. So, you're betting on what? Instability continuing. Well, I think there's an easier trade. You short the market, you short tech. Because any of those factors do what? Bring tech down. Longing oil, gas, just keep in mind, at some point, just like gold's getting slapped, like Bitcoin's going to get slapped, when institutions, hedge funds, mutual funds, mom and pop, margin call, redemptions, when they throw the bathwater out, they throw the baby. And I don't know what the baby is all the time, but I can tell you what, at some point, oil is not recessionary proof. Now, it's not going negative futures, but it could oil drop back into the 60s. That's what I've always thought. I thought the fair price is somewhere in the 60s. Because keep in mind, OPEC's a bunch of cheating, lying bastards. Like, they're talking about what they're doing. I guarantee they're fudging the numbers. I guarantee there's countries out that are like, we gotta produce as much oil as possible, or we don't have food for our folks. We don't have food for our constituents, the population. What are your thoughts on buy and holding some major index? Well, what do you mean buy and hold? It's a bear market. Why would you buy and hold anything? It's like shorting in a bear market. Why would you know what I mean? Like endlessly. Or sorry, it's like shorting in a bull market. Like, why would you buy an inverse ETF in a bull market? That's all. I mean, that's literally all it is. I mean, you want to buy a major ETF? I'll show you what major ETFs did. You know, let's look at XLF? You want to buy and hold the XLF. Say in financials, you bought financials in the 2000s. It went from the high of 30 down to $4. You want to buy the USO. You want to hold oil for a long period of time. And still, reverse split. Tell me what ETF. Tell me what a major index. What would be the purpose of holding a major index through a bull market or bear market, Arturo? Like, really think about it. I mean, what is diversity is for the lazy, right? Diversity is what? The easy. It's just I don't have to think. Well, keep in mind, stocks don't always go up, and that's why the irony of that becoming the antithesis, like stocks only go up, it just tells you the market makers are now in full blast, make you I can't say those words, make you stupid, and do exactly what? Believe in certainty. Oh, let's believe in certainty. Markets can only go up, right? Well, here you go. Here are the basic rules of trading. Merchants will expect to sell at retail what they bought at wholesale. The expansion of communication and media will bring more people to the market, tending to increase volatility of stock prices as they increase elements of supply and demand. In order to buy and sell huge quantities of stocks, exchange members will seek new ways to enhance their sales techniques through the mass media. Sorry to yell number 4, but that's the reality here. Think about it. The media is going to tell you what? Buy, hold. And I'm not going to tell you that in a bull market that's a problem. But if you don't know this is a bear market, then you got a problem. Because you don't know your past. And I'm sorry, that's not my problem. Because I've warned people, what is the first chart you always look at? It's the monthly. You zoom as far back as you can. You zoom out as far as you can. Is the monthly. If you don't know your past, then you shouldn't be trading. Yeah, stock upgrades are in a bear market. Well, how do you know actually? Here's another tell the bear market's over. What do? Downgrades all at the lows. Do y'all remember S&P and Moody's 2009 downgraded the whole market, stocks, everything at the lows. Like, think about Apple has what? Does it even have a single negative rating? Does it have a single negative rating? I don't think it does. We must be in a bear market, or it must be in a bull market, right? Okay. I got to get running. Anyone have any one last questions? Because I think it's just funny, the sentiment. Because when in doubt, people don't go evidence-based. They just run to the news. They talk to their friends. They talk to financial advisors who are literally playing golf when they give them a call. And they go, what do you do? Just hold. Okay. All right. Just hold. I mean, they're collecting their 2%. They don't give a shit. They don't lose if you lose. They still win. They're guaranteed their 2. Oh, well, the market dropped. We couldn't have predicted that. What do you do? And then they'll pull out, says if you miss the 10 best days of the year, you miss out on 90% of the market upside. Well, what was your whole job anyway? I mean, watch the IWM. What do we always say? The IWM leads, right? Popping up today. Cool. How much further has it got? I don't know. Talked about it. You don't really know. But it's OPEX. That's all you really can understand. That's all you really know. First of the month's an OPEX. Tops. Now, could this run up all the way into the first of the month? We'll see. I mean, it's like, you pull back the veil of what's going on. I mean, it's like there's like, how they say, bunch of dead bodies in the closet, sweep everything out, You don't know who's naked until the tide goes out. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scene that nobody's paying attention to. Will AMC be the market killer? Well, you're probably long AMC if you're asking that. Because I feel like if you joke enough people about AMC, like they're going to be like, I mean, as I have continuously, like, you are literally on the backside of idiotness. Because you think what? You think you're getting back to 70s. Which maybe you do. I mean, good luck. But why would I buy AMC? Like, what's the future? I'm going to the movie theater. I mean, do you want to invest in the horse and buggy? You want to invest in taxis? Do you want to buy a Blockbuster? Remember that South Park episode where Randy buys the Blockbuster and it turns into like The Shining? You tell me. I mean, I don't know. Anybody who holds these stocks that doesn't trade them is silly. Yeah, popcorn margins are through the roof. Yeah, I should have known. I mean, again, I love how this is what the irony of like the retail investor getting mad at the game and saying, well, we're going to do this to get back at the institutions that create the market. I don't see people going to the casino and getting mad when they lose money and saying like, well, let's all go down there and rob the motherfucker. Right? Like you folks who don't realize that you're meant to lose and getting mad and like the Wall Street bets crowd, like that's no different than literally going to the casino and getting mad you're losing. I think that's hilarious. Again, that's why I'm not trading. I don't care. If it goes higher, great. Whatever. But you are being fed your own, here you go. Here's the noose. This dream that you're coming back to the 70s. The GameStop dream of what? With the split, what's the new high? The dream that is getting back to 100s. I mean, how high, drunk, deaf, blind, rationally or irrational must somebody be to like follow the masses to some, what? Their own hanging. If you don't see it as that, I don't know what to tell you. Because again, until you learn your own lesson, it doesn't mean as much. I can sit here and tell you like that. I mean, I played in the .com bubble. Well, what's the equivalent? I mean, I remember, wait, check this out. I remember eBay. Oh, you're able to sell goods online. I mean, that thing IPO'd and just straight rocketed higher. And then it retests and went. Now, remember, there's a ton of splits. But at the time, it was like in the hundreds of dollars. Ooh, you can buy things online. Tell me what's AMC's edge, please. Just give me one rational, legitimate reason to trade AMC other than praying for a short squeeze. That's never my goal. I mean, I've been seeing that with the weed names for years. People are like, oh, it's going to squeeze. It's going to squeeze. Okay. While you could have traded the market leaders, well, because they followed the market, they led the market. Nah, I mean, you're fishing in a shithole. Oh, lots of crime and billions. But again, you're betting on what? You're betting on a crooked market gets uncrooked? You're betting on the bookie giving you your money back? You're betting on the casino refunding you for losing? You're a fucking idiot. Move on. And there's thousands of y'all. It's really sad. You could be trading 100 other things well and actually learning how to trade, but no, you're going to actually learn how to get busted. At some point. It's always the same. All right, well, again, I'm not like trying to be aggressively mad at you or mean, but that's just the reality of it. Trust me, I've made investments held on to and thought I was going to the moon. And then guess what? You learn they're not. Now, if AMC goes to the moon and all the whole time, like you're sitting here watching this stock going, it's going to 72. I don't know. You're literally 1 minute away from puke because management's unloading. I guarantee that. Smart money's unloading. But someone's playing this synthetics and options and, the criminal activity in the market. Like, what? I mean, I don't write these stories, but I know who does. And the people that read these stories, I mean, it's fantasy. Fugazi. It's like Matthew McConaughey. It's a fugazi. I wish you luck, Apes or Us, but you're not going to be a great trader learning how to get lucky on AIM stock. Or Ape stock, as you want to call it, AMC. But I hope you win. I hope you win and the lottery ticket hits. I hope that's your trading strategy and you get rich. Because then if you do, cash all your money out and quit trading. Because you will get burned. I can bet that. Oh no, this is just a short-term play. Okay. Well, again, it's not making higher highs. It's making lower highs. So what's the strategy? When do you cash out, huh? When do you cash out? I mean, clearly it's made a high. I mean, I don't call that bullish and I wouldn't call that bullish, but you're still holding? What are you waiting for? That long-legged doji, outside candle, closes back in it. I don't know. I got to run. Wall Street bets mod detected. Probably. I don't know. I mean, I troll these folks. I think it's hilarious. It's no different than like talking to people who are like, I'm going to buy lottery tickets. I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars every month of my paycheck to buy lottery tickets and hope I get rich versus why don't you invest in a real estate or why don't you put that money into some sort of education? You're hoping for the one-off event. All right, I got to run. Peace.